So guys, welcome back once again to Sweet and Sour Soccer. Today is a Premier League edition. Well, no, I've messed that up. It's a Hall of Fame edition. No, it's not. It's a Premier League Hall of Fame Managers edition. See, we'll get there in the end.
Shocking. Anyway, let's carry on.
Guys, after that abysmal intro, hit that like button for us. It means the world. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Scott, explain what we're going to do today because I've lost the plot today.
So I mean, basically, after the Premier League Hall of Fame was introduced this year, we noticed that it was pretty much just players, and we said, well, what about the managers? What about a managers Premier League Hall of Fame? And we thought, we've got a YouTube channel. Why not just do a video on it ourselves? So this is the official Premier League Hall of Fame.
This is let's be real. This is official. This is what people come to for their news. Have you never seen Transfer Talk? This is a serious channel, right? Let's dive into it, guys. There's obviously.
I was going to say we've not explained the concept. We're both going to pick 5. That doesn't mean that some won't cross over, and of course, you're just about to explain. But a couple we just said ourselves. But there were obvious picks. The rest we don't know, and the rest we haven't discussed.
Yeah, so we basically said we'll pick 5 in no particular order. Just 5 that we think should be in the Hall of Fame if there was a managers edition, and I'm sure there will be managers inducted into this in the near future. Guys, the obvious 2 are Wenger and Fergie. It goes without saying. I don't even know the stats. I know Wenger's got 3 titles unbeaten in a season. I think he's done 2 doubles as well. Fergie, is it 13? I think it's 13 Premier League titles, 2 three-peats. No one else has done that once. These guys will be in there one day.
That's it, definitely. And, if anyone doesn't think they shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, you obviously have no football knowledge, so stop watching.
Let's just make one thing clear. You actually did say Wenger deserves to be in there more than Fergie. I won't even comment on that.
No, what I said was Fergie. I said Wenger is my favourite ever manager, which he is.
I think there's a little bit.
That's not the same, is it? You're twisting that completely.
I think there's a little bit of backtracking there, but I digress. Right, the other 3 that we've chosen, we don't know who the other person has actually picked. I think my list has to be these 3. I've got one manager who hasn't won a Premier League. Have you?
Yeah.
Only one?
Just the one.
Okay. My third manager, first up, Jose Mourinho.
I've said the exact same. I think people might think he's lost his touch now, but for so many years he was so great. And if you're going to have a Premier League Hall of Fame Managers Edition, surely Jose has to go in. He's won multiple titles.
3, I think, as well. 3, 2 at his first spell at Chelsea, and then 1 in 13, 14, I believe it was, or 12, 13. But yeah, Jose was he was the first manager to come into the league. He was young. He just won the Champions League. Yeah. Didn't even want to defend it at Porto. Just moved. Young, charismatic, handsome. No manager in Premier League history, include Pep into this, commanded a press conference as much as Jose. I would sit around and just, this is before YouTube. I just wanted to listen to Jose talk.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly right. And I think the style of play he brought to the Premier League, especially when he moved across, was it changed so much, didn't it? I think, so he definitely deserves to get into the Hall of Fame for me.
Absolutely. I think some people will maybe try and argue that he shouldn't, but I think if you are being realistic about this, he has to be in.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because younger watchers might not remember those times and they might see Mourinho more as that. I mean, you look now and you think he didn't actually do terribly at United, do you? And let's be honest, I know he didn't bring them a title, but maybe he was. I mean, he said it a bit tongue-in-cheek, but maybe finishing second for them one of the seasons actually was one of his better achievements.
He said it was the best, didn't he? I don't think it was the best. I think that's Jose being Jose, and he's one of the best at it ever. But yeah, I mean, just the way he would command his touchline as well. We've seen him get in arguments with Wenger on the touchline, and Wenger famously pushed him. The one where he stopped Liverpool winning the title, and he ran down the touchline like up to the Chelsea fans. He was just brilliant. And even before the Premier League, we got a taste of Jose when he ran down the touchline at Old Trafford when Porto knocked Man U out of the Champions League. So, you know, I mean, this guy is a class act.
I mean, that clip's still used now, isn't it?
The Champions League as an enterprise, they still use that clip to advertise the competition because it was that iconic. Let's move on to the fourth choice. I'm going to throw it over to you this time. Who's your fourth name?
So I'm going to pick my Premier League winner. It might be a Premier League winner. Might be someone that people don't agree with. But for me, this person did something that was just unimaginable. And people might say it was not just him, it was the team as well, which is, of course, correct. But I think he did something that we'll never see again. And, of course, I'm talking about Ranieri.
Right, yeah, I had no idea. It took me about 10, 15 seconds to kind of understand who you were going to go for. Claudio Ranieri. I'm going to be honest, he never even crossed my mind for this list. I was thinking of people like Benitez and you know, all these great managers, longevity, although he never won the title. Even David Moyes crossed my mind because of how long he's been there, but he's never won it.
And I think you're all right. That'll be everyone's counter argument, won't it? For those that don't agree with that admission from me, it would be the fact that, let's be honest, he didn't do superb at Chelsea, and it was really only the one season at Leicester where he really succeeded. But I mean, that's just got to be the most iconic Premier League season of all time. I mean,
Absolutely.
Leicester on the brink of relegation. You'll never see it again. 5,000 to 1 outsiders, and
they don't even
the players. The players were as much as the achievement, but without a manager that managed to rally them up, managed to make them all believe and come together as a team. I mean, that team, you look at it on paper, and even when you look at it on paper now, that weren't a Premier League winning team, was it? So for me, just for that one aspect, he's surely got to go in.
See, I get that, I really do. If we've got the same player as our last pick, if we've got the same manager as our last pick, you'll understand why maybe I haven't gone for Ranieri. I would emulate everything you said and more as to Ranieri, but I can't pick him over the person I've gone. I'm not going to go for my outsider. I'm going to leave that till last. I'm going to pick a different one now. Pep. Have you gone with Pep?
I haven't, no. I think it's too early for Pep.
Oh, you haven't gone. So we've got two different ones.
I think it's way too early for Pep, to be honest.
Oh, no. This guy's got 3 titles. He's already emulated what Jose's done in half the time, a third of the time. Oh, you haven't got Pep in the Hall of Fame.
Arguably with a team that should win it, though.
Yeah, you could say that.
Put him in, because people would say the same thing about Fergie, but Fergie had some great battles. Obviously, Pep did the 1 year with Klopp, and then look, Pep is a great manager. You're not going to get me to say differently, but for me, he needs to win it. He needs to win it maybe a couple more times. Maybe something where you'll look back on when he's left the Premier League, where you'll go, yeah, fair play. But for me, just not quite at the moment, no.
Do you know why Pep's in it for me? Because no other manager has made an entire country change the way they play football.
Conte?
No. Conte introduced 5 at the back, and a lot of teams were doing it in the Premier League or trying to. Pep has literally changed football. You could argue across Europe and definitely in England. How many mistakes are we seeing keepers like Leno make mistakes from trying to pass out from the back? And, they know they can't do it, but they're
Well, that's because
still trying.
Arsenal have got obviously got Pep Junior, haven't they? In Arteta. To be honest,
True.
though,
Allison has made those mistakes at Liverpool.
It's not a terrible omission.
I think Pep has to be in there because yes, the money. Am I also maybe I'm giving him the benefit of just dominating domestically in a way that Alex Ferguson never did. Fergie has never won 4 league cups in a row. Fergie never went. Fergie only won, I think, 3 FA Cups in 26 years or 4 FA Cups or something like that.
On the basis of just Premier League, has he done anything that magnificent at the moment? But put it this way,
he's doing second.
He's
doing second.
Yes, but are you going to include Klopp?
I haven't got Klopp on my list, no.
Because I think a lot of Liverpool fans would say if you're going to include Pep, you've surely got to include Klopp as well.
Why? No, that doesn't work. If you include Pep, you include Klopp. No, if you include Klopp, you've got to include Kenny Dalglish.
It's just because I feel like Klopp actually massively improved and took over a team and improved. And of course, Pep has already done it, but let's not pretend before Pep that they hadn't won Premier Leagues, because they had.
Yes, they did struggle the year before Pep came in, and even in Pep's first season, Fraudiola, they finished 4th. Claudio Bravo was making mistake after mistake, and at points in that season, it looked like Pep could have come in and taken City out of the Champions League. Never mind not winning title. For me, Pep has changed English football in a way that no other manager ever has that I can think of. Maybe the Bill Shankleys and the Herbert Chapmans and those kinds of managers, maybe, but no other manager has made an entire country. If you go and watch a Sunday League game down the local park this weekend, you'll probably see people trying to play out from the back, and that's what Pep did.
I can kind of get that. I mean, let's face it, not a bad admission. I'll give you that. And at the end of the day,
not a bad admission.
Look, we'll leave the pep talk to obviously another video that we thought of for an idea. So let's move on to the last pick. Who's going to go first?
Did you say yours wasn't Klopp?
No.
So it's not. So you've done Ranieri, you've done Wenger, Fergie, Mourinho. It's not Pep.
I have a feeling you're going to hate this last pick, but I think I've got to do it.
Have you gone for Mick McCarthy or something, or Sam Allardyce?
Mick McCarthy.
Have you gone Alan Kirbishley? What are you doing?
My last pick is going to be Harry Redknapp.
No.
Yeah, I've gone for Harry Redknapp as my last pick. I wanted to pick someone that's not just, I didn't want to pick one, but I'd just pick everyone that's won a Premier League title. For me, Harry Redknapp, he did it with, people would remember the back end of his career. They tend to remember the Birmingham one now, where he's pretty much bankrupted them. But before that, I think everyone loves the wheeler and dealer Harry Redknapp, especially on.
He doesn't like that.
He doesn't like it, but he got that for a reason. Bringing the band back together of Cranshaw, Crouch, Defoe,
Robbie Keane.
Look, he was at the lower end of the table, obviously with Pompey,
West
Ham as well.
Are you including the Portsmouth FA Cup win a little bit psychologically here?
I probably would have psychologically, but the reason I've included him as well is because he did it at the bottom end, but let's not forget what he did with Tottenham. He made them into let's face it, he made Tottenham. That period under Harry Redknapp is why people think of Tottenham as a top 4 club.
I don't disagree with that. I'm not against Harry Redknapp as an inductee. He doesn't get in the first 3 for me. I could be persuaded that he should be in the top 5. If he doesn't get into mine, I'll give you my last one in a minute, but if you were to really, really drill it into me as to why he should be, I'd get it. You want to hear my 5th?
I don't know. I just feel like you're going to go someone like bloody Roy Hodgson or something like that, just because he's retiring.
No.
Because he gives iconic interviews.
If anybody watches our video from Friday, they'll see why Roy Hodgson's not getting in it for me. Listen, I'm hoping True Geordie sees this because he might give us a shout out. I've gone Sir Bobby. I've had to go Sir Bobby. One of the big reasons.
Sorry, carry on.
He never won the league. Just maybe I'm being sentimental because of what he almost did for England, Italian 90 and, World Cups and Euros. But what he's done is he's done something that no other manager has done yet on this list. And, Fergie tried it with Steve McLaren, who the less we speak of, the better. But he introduced the world to Jose Mourinho, didn't he? He's left that legacy that no other manager has done. His battle, I think of Newcastle in the 90s, the end of the 90s and the early noughties, where I was really starting to get into football.
Yeah.
And the players that they had, just an unbelievable team. I don't know, there's something about Sir Bobby. He was probably the nicest man in football. I can't look past Sir Bobby. He was one of the founding fathers of the Premier League.
Again, I can't say bad. It's definitely not a bad pick. I think for me, I was kind of thinking, I did think about him, and I also thought about Kenny Dalglish, and I just came to the conclusion that maybe they were more Liverpool and Newcastle legends than they were perhaps what people would regard as Premier League legends. But maybe I'm being a bit unfair there.
I guess I understand where you're coming from, because Harry has managed 5 or 6 different Premier League clubs.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to get the backing from a lot of neutrals watching this, from your West Hams, your Portsmouth, your Tottenhams, those kinds of teams. But for me, I don't think that should count against Bobby. Do you know who an honourable mention is? And I was going to put him in ahead of Sir Bobby, but I couldn't because he never won it. I was thinking, no, not Roy. Why did you say Roy Hodgson? No. No. I was thinking Benitez. I really was thinking Benitez. Yeah. But then I was thinking a lot of the reasons why I admire Benitez, because he had a dead team. I think I'm including Istanbul, which wouldn't be fair. I'm thinking of his amazing clashes with Jose in the Champions League for those 3 or 4 years. Maybe that wouldn't be fair either.
Yeah, so as you say, they're more Champions League than what he actually achieved in the Prem, which is a good point.
He did push Fergie that one year, I think it was 2008, with the famous rant against Fergie, and that's where they say the wheels fell off. But yeah, Sir Bobby's my 5th. Honourable mention would have been Benitez. I never thought of Ranieri. I really, really never thought of Ranieri. I get the thinking behind it. And I think if I would have thought of Ranieri, I still think I would have gone for Sir Bobby.
Oh, no. For once, I thought you were going to say, you know what, Scott, you've outdone me there. But
no, listen, he's
too optimistic.
If you're going to put Ranieri in the Hall of Fame, listen, I think he will get in because there's obviously a much smaller selection of Prem managers that have won it. So I think he'll get in. If he was a player, Wes Morgan, is he going to get in the Hall of Fame? Probably not. Robert Hoof, Danny Simpson, Danny Drink. Are these players going to get in the Premier League Hall of Fame? No. So the Tinkerman, everyone loves him. Dilly dong. He's a legend, the nicest man in the world. But for me, I've gone Sir Bobby because I think it was so long ago. People are forgetting what he did. And he was such an attack-minded manager. He was brilliant. He really was.
Well, guys, let us know what you think. Did you prefer my list? Did you prefer James's? And also let us know in the comments what your 5 would be. And as always, please hit that like button and please subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you on the next one.
Just one last thing. We had 2 discrepancies. I had Pep and Sir Bobby. Scott had Redknapp and
Ranieri. Got him again. Wow. Leicester fans are going to hate you.
I know. I love Leicester. Watch our previous videos. Take care, guys.